Yo, it's Jumpman T with Twisted Torch TV. I'm back again. Turn me up in your headphones loud and clear for the people in the background. Sunday night, another primetime matchup to back weeks. Talk about Kirk Cousins putting us in the breadbasket to potentially be on national television back to back weeks. Shout out to him. And we got some important matchup after that in the division when the Saints come to us and then we play the Bucks. So it's a good schedule coming up. One thing I noticed Simmons has said, the safety coming from the Broncos, he said, this is where we show what winners are. This shows where the team is. When you play these back-to-back matchups with versus good teams, you be able to see where you are, where you're looking to be for the future. And everybody on this team is looking to go to the playoffs, looking to go compete further. So we got to see what we can do with the Chiefs. One thing I will say about the Chiefs, though, they're great in September, right? I think their record is 17-4 in September since 2018. The Falcons' record is 7-15, but of course we didn't have good QB play. Now we do. Kirk Cousins comes in and he's starting to feel himself too. In case y'all didn't notice, that fourth quarter drive, that 2-minute drive, that's one thing each Pro Bowl QB is ready for. It's because you don't really have to go off what the play calling is. You're just reading the defense and you're dictating the pace of the game. So that 2-minute offense is something they work on in training camp. So that's why Kirk Cousins looks so good. But let's get to it. Chiefs versus Falcons. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, keep on the algorithm. Appreciate the support as always. You like to donate, hit my Cash App, $ Twisted Torch TV, or the super thanks on the video. So let's get to it, right? There's some great matchups I want to really discuss, but there's a couple things we really got to get into when it comes to this team, right? Let's go over stats first. Let's see how the Chiefs look overall. Patrick Mahomes, 38 of 53, completing 71.7% of his passes, 442 yards in 2 games, averaging 8 yards a throw, 221 yards per game, 3 touchdowns to 3 INTs, 4 sacks. Okay. They're like something we could take advantage of. They're like some Matthew Judon can potentially get a lock hold of, right? He has 1.5 sacks on the year. Grady Jarrett has 1.5 sacks on the year as well. So I'm looking for our defense to potentially take over this game, the front seven, especially with them having 2 tackles outside that struggling. Trey Henderson from the Bengals had 2 sacks last week on him, and he was getting over at ease. He was getting over at ease, guys. So I'm interested to see how this matchup goes. Like I said, Grady Jarrett has 1.5 sacks. Matthew Judon has 1.5 sacks. Caden Ellis is getting pressures as well. So we have 3 sacks on the year. I'm interested to see, where is Carter at? Where is AK at? I need to see more from you guys, man, especially in this game, this primetime game. We need to step it up. When you got Patrick Mahomes coming in town, we know what he likes to do, right? He likes to take his time. He likes to sit in the pocket. He likes to roam around. And a lot of things of what our safety tip said about playing him, because we have Jesse Bates and we have Justin Simmons. And since 2018, Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates slowing down Kelsey. What are they? 6 for 22 in those games without 50 yards. 6 of those 22 games without 50 yards versus Simmons or Bates for Kelsey. That's phenomenal, guys. That's phenomenal when you look at this. And I'm looking at this matchup for a reason. If we can slow down Kelsey, because Kelsey, I know he's struggling right now. The first 2 games, he hasn't did what he needs to do. Let's look at his stats. 4 receptions on 7 targets, 39 yards, 9.8 yards a carry, no touchdown. His longest catch was for 23 yards. But think about this with Kelsey. When it comes to these big-time games, he steps up. So 2018 and 2023, week 1 through 2, 15 targets, 10 receptions, 75, almost 76 yards, almost 2 touchdowns a game. In 2024, 7 targets, 4 receptions, 39 yards, 0 touchdowns. So I expect this game to be key for us, guys. I think Kelsey is going to try to get open. And I'm looking at Simmons. I'm looking at Bates. I'm looking at them as being X factors of this game. There's someone called game last week, and it was Bates. And you see Simmons, he has his hands up way before the play is happening. Before Bates picks the ball off. He saw how the covers look. And one thing Bates has stated, he stated in his press conference, like, in key moments, we look for players, not the plays or the formation. So what he did is he went to Devontae Smith, who had 7 targets, 78 yards versus us and a touchdown. He went to him. He double covered him. He followed Jalen Hurts and went to him to pick the ball off. So I'm anxious to see how this matchup is going to work with Kelsey. I know the first 3 seconds doesn't matter. It's the last 3 seconds. One thing about Kelsey in this offense, he's able to do whatever he wants. He goes to the line of scrimmage. He gives Patrick Mahomes like a look like, hey, this is open. So I can see them doing some connection routes towards the second quarter, third quarter. They're going to try to get Kelsey the ball, especially Kelsey. Having 4 targets is unacceptable for all pro player anyway, just like Pitt's the issue with us. So I expect them to go to Kelsey a lot, and we're going to have to make plays on that consistently. We're going to have to make plays on that. So I'm anxious to see how they're going to do. I got to see this matchup, though, right? And I think we're going to exploit this matchup. Bijan Robinson looked crisp last week, 97 yards on 14 carries. And a lot of people are like, oh, Saquon did this. Saquon had 22 carries. Bijan Robinson had 14 carries, more consistent, averaging 7 yards a carry. So I'm anxious to see how this matchup is going to be. At times, Chiefs can struggle versus the run. So I want to see how we're going to take over this game, right? Let's look at the offense stats, look at the defense stats. Falcons offense averaging 16 points a game, but we played the Steelers, of course, so that's a tough defense. The Chiefs defense is giving up 23 points a game. We're yards per game, 305. We're 18th. They're 29th, 386 yards per game. Sheesh. Something we can explore. Look at the third down conversion, though. We're 22.2 for right now. They're 40.7. So we got some chances now, guys. It looks like we have some chances. And look at this, red zone, 20th. They're 12th, so they don't give up as many points in the red zone. They look a lot better. Turnovers. We have 3, they have 2. So, yeah, I think we can exploit this matchup, especially with Bijan, especially with this running game. If once he starts to get burning on fire, bro, that play action sets up crisp. It sets up crisp. So I'm anxious to see how that's going to go. Bijan is a playmaker, and the more plays you get, the more hungry he gets throughout the game. And he likes playing in primetime matchups. Did you hear me right? Did you hear me right, guys? He likes playing in primetime matchups. So I'm anxious to see how that's going to go, especially using Bijan consistently. But one thing we got to worry about, for sure, we got to worry about this. I think our offensive line did exceptionally well protecting Kirk Cousins last week. We got to keep it up. They got Chris Jones. Chris Jones is a playmaker, guys. He's a playmaker. Consistently, too. I think he has like 3 sacks on the year. Like, he's killing. Let's look at his stats. I mean, how many sacks does this guy have, man? He's a dominant player. Only 1 tackle, 1 sack. I'm sorry, 1 tackle for loss. So he's not dominant. But that first week when I was watching him, he was making a lot of plays. And one thing they do with him, he has position to roam whenever he wants. So he'll literally look at a matchup. Oh, I want him today. This is who I want right now. This is who I want for this play. So McGuire, he can line up on you. Dalman, he can line up on you. Bergeron, he's going to look to line up on you 3 guys to try to set up mismatches for the rest of his team and potentially do that. One thing I noticed about Kirk Cousins, though, Kirk Cousins was moving a lot more in the pocket. Towards that second and third quarter, he started moving around. It was one play where Jordan Davis had him to rights. He skated to the right, moved up, got the ball out of bounds. We're not taking sacks this game, guys. So Kirk Cousins is looking to help his O-line as much as he can by moving a lot more in the pocket. That first week, he was standing still. He didn't really know what he wanted to do. That second week, he changed it. And can you see how the running game helps us, guys? When he went under center, did you see how that play calling changed and how it showed Bijan can be a lot better, Tyler Algier can be a lot better? So we got to go under the center. We got to use play action. That's some of the best that Kirk Cousins does in this game. So make sure we look for that. We talked about Chiefs O-line. I need Matthew Judon to have a great game. And Matthew Judon is very streaky, guys. I want to make sure I say that. Matthew Judon is very streaky. He's the type of player that he'll be dominant and he'll go on a streak. 2 sacks per game type streak. So watch out for Judon. I mean, I notice he's starting to get comfortable. He's starting to be more better in this pass rush, in this defense. So I'm anxious to see how that's going to go. Let him loose this week, guys. Let him loose. Let him loose this week. And let's not forget about Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier was cooking yesterday. He does have a hip injury. He was limited today in practice, so I'd like to see how that goes. But he was cooking. What he had, he had like 9 carries, 56 yards. He was averaging like 6 yards a carry. So the defense, I mean the offense is really rushing the ball. In 2 games, 50 carries, 241 yards. We don't have any touchdowns yet, but I feel like the touchdowns are going to come eventually, soon enough, more than you think. Chiefs wideouts versus the Falcons secondary. Versus the Falcons secondary. As you see, Jesse Bates, 1 player of the week, 12 tackles, 2 passes defense, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 INT to seal the game. I want to see how. I really want to see how my boy AJ Terrell comes back. Bill Belichick was talking kind of spicy about him. If Terrell doesn't get an interception tonight, he would get 1,000 days without a pick. So that's a lot of money to be paying a cornerback that hasn't played, pick the ball off in 1,000 days. Okay, that's cool. But AJ Terrell is among the best in the entire NFL in forced incompletions rate and allowed completion rate. So it's just not always about that, champ. But I mean, hey, is it not time to set the record straight, AJ? Is it not time to go out there and make a play though? I feel like you can. And I feel like you'll be a key factor. Another thing, Mike Hughes is playing phenomenal. Great at stopping the run. It's not really giving them too many big plays. The defense was really sticky on coverage besides Devontae. There wasn't too many targets going out. Jalen Hurts had to run the football. And if you notice, last or Monday night, Jalen Hurts was running a lot. He had 86 yards. So that tells me receivers weren't getting open on press coverage. D. Alfred was playing great. Even Clark Phillips came in to play great. So we were doing our due diligence. But one thing we got to stop is Worthy. That's a big playmaker, man. He's a playmaker at any moment. He is a playmaker. Xavier Worthy for Texas, the first round pick. 4 receptions, all 7 targets, 64 yards, 16 yards, a catch, 1 touchdown. Longest is 44. Also, Rashee Rice. I want to see AJ Terrell take Rashee Rice out the game. In 2 games, he has 12 targets on 12 receptions on 15 targets, 178 yards, averaging 15 yards, a catch, 1 touchdown. And that touchdown came last week or Sunday on that deep pass. And Patrick Mahomes gonna put him the money, guys. So we got to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. Slow down his clock radio. Don't let him just go to his first read. We know Andy Reid's gonna call some hell of a plays. Let's be honest. He's that type of guy. He's dynamic when it comes to that. So we got to have steady coverage. We got to stop the run. They don't have the running back this week. He's out on IR. So I think let me see what his name is. I don't know his name. Carson Steele, and he fumbled last week. So I see how he does. 9 carries and 27 yards. Doesn't really look too good. I think they're going to use Xavier Worthy a lot too in the those quick screens, those end the rounds. Like they're going to use him in the running game as well. I know they just signed Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's a feisty back. So watch out for him as well. But we got to stop Worthy. We got to stop Rice. I think AJ Terrell's going to take the Rice matchup. If he goes in the slot, I think D. Alfred or the safety might come down. We're going to bracket Kelsey on 3rd downs. Worthy, we can't let him get over top. Stick it straight like that. We cannot let Worthy go over top, guys. That's how we win this game. Stop the big playability. Force Mahomes to go to 3rd and 4th reads and get after the QB. Those are key things to stop this offense. We got to do that. I told y'all Kelsey's going to be key. I think Bates and Simmons is going to be key for that matchup. I want to see I want to see Simmons kind of press coverage him, come down in the box a little bit more since he knows this matchup. And one thing I know about him, one thing we know about Simmons, he has 6 INTs on Patrick Mahomes in his career. He played in this division, guys, so he knows what Travis Kelce likes to do. He knows what Patrick Mahomes likes to do. Bates also played in the AFC, so he has some matchups versus Kelce and versus Mahomes. So I expect them to do their due diligence, bracket coverage him, pick and choose. Sometimes you might see AJ out there. You might even see Kevin King come out there because he's a longer type cornerback to guard Kelce, and he has speed, 6'2". He's coming back from injury for the past 2 years, but he can guard tight ends as well. So I want to see how that matchup does coming out. Falcons wide outs versus Chiefs secondary. And the one matchup I'm looking for is Drake London versus Trent McDuffie. Drake London, what does he have? I mean, the first game he didn't really do nothing, but the second game, he has 8 receptions on 10 targets, 69 yards, averaging 8 yards with 1 touchdown. Barry McLeod, 7 catches for 12 targets, 94 yards, 13.4 yards a carry. Darnell Mooney, 4 receptions, 10 targets, 103 yards, averaging 26 yards a catch and 1 touchdown. So let's think about this now. Let's think about this now. Y'all saw how Mooney had them routes last week, right? Y'all saw how he took off on single coverage. He can't get single coverage in this game. If they single coverage him, we're gonna attack that matchup. And you saw those corner routes, he was getting open. When Kirk Cousins had time to throw the football, he was getting open. And if there's gonna be a matchup where you have a safety on him, oh my God, that's pure murder. That's murder. But I do want to see the matches they might give out. Justin Reed is a great safety. Again, it comes down to the pass rush. Trick McDuffie is okay. He's pretty good. He came in the league a couple years ago from Washington. So I'm anxious to see how that goes. But when you got Drake, you got Darnell Mooney, and you got Ray Ray, and Ray Ray looks good, guys. I want to let y'all know that. Like in the middle of the field, he's getting open on these option routes. He's getting open like consistently. So, and Kurt's finding him over the middle. So, hey, look at this. I want y'all to know this now. But if you get the matchup on Trent McDuffie, I look for a lot more fade and fly routes this week. If you get a matchup versus Trent McDuffie, because Trent McDuffie is 5'11", Drake's like 6'3", 6'4". So you can use that big body fan to get open and potentially get some big time plays with Drake London. I do want to see where Kyle Pitts and Kirk Cousins matchup is going to come into play. I would love to see it, but we've been waiting for it. I want to see him get open, guys. And he did start that drive in the 2 minutes to where he got that first down for 11 yards. But I need to see him get more targets. I need to see him get 7 to 8 targets a game, guys. Kyle Pitts is deadly if he's used consistently. Crossing routes, fade routes, comeback routes in the middle of the field. Like, get some matches versus these linebackers and versus Brian Reed. He makes plays, but Justin Reed, he makes plays, but he's not tall enough. Is he? He's 6'1", probably 6 feet from Stanford. But yeah, I feel like we can extort that matchup. As I said, injury news. Poncho is not playing. I would love to see him. He's a great running back, man. And I like to play against the best anyway, so I would love to see him, but we're not going to see him this week. So we got to do what we got to do on offense, man. We got to do what we got to do on defense. This is our chance to really show the National League how good we can be. As I said, the Chiefs are good in September, but the refs do cheat for the Chiefs, don't they? Those 2 games they should have lost, and they didn't. So is it time for some humble pie? Is it time for some humble pie, guys? I feel like it is. We have a chance to take over this this matchup tonight. On Sunday night in Atlanta. So I look forward to seeing it. We'll do a live show to do predictions. I think it's going to be a close game, though. A down-to-earth game, a great game. So I can't wait to watch it. We're going to give X factors. We're going to give the keys to victory a little bit more in detail on live. So make sure y'all lock in with that. Appreciate the support as always. Jumpman T Twitch Torch TV. Peace.